Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi there. Sorry we got a little late start there. We were trying to get everything situated here on the technical side, but thank you guys for joining us today. We are making sure that everybody here has the appropriate access for our presenters. I think we're waiting on one more school and then we can get started. Thank you guys for hanging tight and thank you for your patience. We'll get started soon.
Just a quick question. When it's our turn to present, will we just be sharing our presentation ourselves?
Yes, you're welcome
Okay.
to share your screen and then use whatever presentation you prepared.
Great, thank you.
And you should have access to sharing now if you wanted to test that out.
Can you all see the presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hey everyone, one more thing. Are we gonna present for 20 minutes or is the 20 minutes what we will have for the presentation and the questions?
So you each will have about 20 minutes to present about your school. At the end, we'll have questions for everyone. And so we'll just kind of open it up panelist style and have you all answer kind of towards the end.
I did just want to mention for the students that have joined us, we will be giving a Drive to Success code at the very end of the presentation. So be sure to put that into your Drive to Success app so that you can get credit for that.
All right, guys, well, we'll go ahead and get started. And if we have our third presenter join, then we can make some time for them kind of towards the end. Oh, actually, I think they're here.
Is it Candace?
Yes, it should be Candace and Eric.
Okay, let me see.
All right, I think we got it. Yes, I think we're good to go. Perfect. All right, well, we'll officially get started. Thank you guys so much for helping us put this thing together today. We have 3 institutions with us today. We have University of North Texas, West Texas A&M University, and University of Texas El Paso. So we're so excited to have you guys here today presenting to our students about transfer and the transfer process and what that looks like for your institution. We have a few students in attendance, but this session will also be recorded so that we can circulate it onto our social media platforms so that students can watch it if they're not able to make it to the session today. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. Like I mentioned before, you all should have access to share your screen. And so when it's your turn to present, you feel free to share your presentation. You'll each have about 20 minutes to present, and then we'll have some time for Q&A at the end. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to use the chat to send us any updates or questions, and then we'll move forward from there. So again, thank you guys for being here today, and let's go ahead and get started. Up first, let's go ahead and start with the University of North Texas. The floor is yours.
Hello everyone, I will go ahead and share my screen. All right, so before we get started, there is a QR code in the top of this screen for you to scan if you would like to receive any communication from our university. My name is Hanan. I'm an admissions counselor with the University of North Texas. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll be happy to tell you all the things about our university and how to join us as a transfer student. So, the University of North Texas is located in Denton. Denton is one of the best small towns and one of the best college towns in America. We do have another campus that is in Frisco. Our Frisco location is a smaller location that is close to a lot of industries in the area. And as a matter of fact, Frisco is considered one of the best places for jobs after graduation. So, a lot of opportunities going on out there. Generally speaking, studying in the DFW Metroplex can have a lot of opportunities for students just because we have a lot of thriving businesses here. A little bit about the history of our university. We were founded in 1890 above a hardware store in Denton. The university has just celebrated their 130th anniversary like a year ago. We have changed our name 7 times. Our official school colors are green and white. Our mascot is Scrappy the Eagle. You can see him here on the screen. We do have another mascot for our university that is Lucky the albino squirrel. We have few of them on campus and students always try to spot them. The story goes that if you see the albino squirrel on campus one semester, you will have a very good semester. So just be on the lookout for those albino squirrels. We are the Mean Green family. This is our athletic teams, but we all consider ourselves the Mean Green family. UNT is named one of the best in the West colleges. We have 20 programs ranked in the nation's top 100, and we have excellence in community college transfer honor roll. When it comes to who are our students and what do we represent at UNT, we are a very large campus. We have above 40,000 students. We represent a lot of different ethnicities. We also represent students from all over the world. We have more than 2,600 international students. We are considered a Hispanic serving institution, which is a classification we really pride ourselves for having. Aside from that, we do take care of the community around us. So we serve our Texas resident students, we serve first generation students, and we serve our students with any disability accommodations that they need. As a matter of fact, our Office of Disability Access serves more than 12,000 students every single semester. UNT is a Carnegie classified Tier 1 research university, and that is something that we are very proud of in terms of our academic excellence. When it comes to the academics of UNT, there are some things that might be helpful for you to know. We have 12 colleges at UNT. We are located in Denton, Frisco, and online. UNT offers 109 bachelor's degree right now. 89 of our academic programs are ranked among the nation's top 100. Some of those include aviation logistics, consumer experience management, emergency administration, jazz studies, and communication design. Moving on to our UNT at Frisco campus. This campus was founded in 2016. It's our newer location, and we are now in more of a temporary location while our bigger campus is being built. It's going to be a 100-acre campus, and it's going to be hopefully ready for our students in 2023. We have a lot of partnerships in UNT at Frisco with a lot of the industries in the area, and we offer programs for our students who are coming as transfer as well as freshman students. Some of the programs that are very unique for us are the Sport Entertainment Management program. It is a business degree and it is focused on the sport industry. We have our Bachelor of Applied Arts and Science, a grade degree for any student coming with vocational, technical, or military credits, as we accept all that kind of credit and blend them into a degree that fits what the students are coming with. Other degrees that we have include computer science, information technology, interdisciplinary studies for early childhood to grade 6, and one of our programs for freshmen that we opened recently for transfer student is the project design and analysis. It is an integrated study where students can study about project management, design thinking, and data analysis. That is a degree that students can definitely join as transfer students. Campus life. UNT is a very vibrant campus with a lot of activities and a lot of fun stuff for students to do. We have more than 425 student organizations at UNT, so students can find all the communities that they might want to be part of, from academic to fun stuff to spiritual to any other social kind of organizations. We do have also a lot of university sponsored events. Our libraries have their own events. We have a lot of concerts and art exhibits that are actually students of music and students of art take care of. UNT has 14 residence halls and 5 dining halls. Our newest dining hall is the Eagle Landing Dining Hall. In our residence halls, we have living learning communities. So if a student is interested in living with a community that shares the same academic interests, that is a possibility. There are other options for dining from retail dining restaurants. So that's something that students can do as well. When it comes to sports at UNT, we are an NCAA Division One athletics. We have NCAA Division One athletics teams. Actually, 12 of our teams compete in Conference USA. Aside from the professional sports, student can be in our sport clubs or participate in intramural sports. We care at UNT as much as we possibly could about students having fun, but at the same time, we want to make sure that they are getting the support services that they need for their academic and well-being and mental health. Some of the services that we offer include academic support, well-being and safety, global citizenship, engagement and persistence, career, and leadership. There is much more. There is a very big list of services that we offer on our website. If you have any more questions about it, just let us know. All right, now moving on to the technical parts of how to transfer. What do we ask for? All of these things. So the process of applying to UNT as a transfer student involves few steps. One, the student needs to apply to UNT. If you are applying for spring 2022, that will be through applytexas.org. For fall 2022 and moving forward, it's going to be goapplytexas.org. You need to submit all of your official transcripts from every single university or institution you have previously attended, and then you will be given access to your MyUNT portal. You want to keep an eye on it to see if there is anything else that we're asking you for and to track the status of your application. When it comes to what we require from a transfer student to be admissible, you can see in the table in front of you that based on the number of credit hours that you are coming with, the GPA requirement might be a little different. So if a student is coming with anything less than 4 or about up until 14 credit hours, we will be expecting from them a 2.5 cumulative GPA in their college, and we will ask them also to provide their high school transcript. We want to make sure that they meet the freshman admission requirements. Between 15 and 29 credit hours, it's just going to be the 2.5 cumulative GPA in college. We don't look at high school. 30 to 44 credits, 2.25 GPA in college. 45 or above credit hours, we will be asking for a 2.0 GPA. At UNT, we have a lot of opportunities for our students to get some financial support. As a matter of fact, 75% of our students receive either financial aid, scholarships, or a combination of both. Here, this lists some of the opportunities that we have. There is obviously completing the FAFSA and TASFA for students to get some of the financial aid. Then we have our Transfer Excellence Scholarship that I'll talk about in a little bit. We have some of our tuition plans that can help students save. For example, the Save and Soar tuition plan helps students lock their tuition rate from their first semester at UNT. So even if the tuition rises for upcoming semesters, they will still maintain their rates from when they started. Other opportunities can be accessed by completing the general scholarship application for UNT. All right, so the Transfer Excellence Scholarship, this is actually a scholarship that we started last spring, and it is only for transfer students. As you can see, it is on 3 tiers. It can start with $1,500 and go up until $4,000. We offer it in spring and in fall. If the student applies before the deadlines and they meet the eligibility requirements, they will be considered. Our general cost of attendance can be $26,000 for in-state students and a little more for out-of-state. This number, again, will drop significantly if the student gets any of our financial aid or scholarship opportunities. I'm almost done. I just want to let you know that we do offer a lot of events at our university for students to get to know our campus and get a feel of how life at UNT is like. That you can join us for UNT preview. We do have that in October. We have a lot of campus tours. You can sign up for those either with a virtual option or in-person option. Our transfer debut event is a great event for transfer students where they can speak with us in admissions and they can talk to representatives from the different colleges at UNT. We're going to be hosting our next transfer debut October 15 in our UNT at Frisco campus. Some of our notable alumni, you can hopefully one day be one of them. If you want to connect with us, you can scan the barcode to the left for being part of our mailing list, or you can scan the one to the right for taking tours. And lastly, if you have any questions for me, or if you would like to apply to UNT and want to inquire about anything else, feel free to connect with me directly. My name is Hanan. I can be reached over the phone or email. My phone number is 972-668-7194, and you can reach me at hanan@unt.edu. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was quite a fun fact. I did not know Stone Cold Steve Austin graduated from UNT. That's a really fun fact to know. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, well, we'll move on right along. Our next presenter is going to be West Texas A&M University. So if we can have Candace and Eric, go ahead and share your screen.
All right, sure thing, sure thing. Just testing the audio right quick, making sure you guys can hear me.
And I'm only gonna happen if Eric has a question.
All right, let me go ahead. I will get the screen share set up here. Okay, just one more time. Are we able to hear me? Yes, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We got it.
All right, good deal. Sorry, just wanted to make sure. So I'll go ahead and get started. Are you guys able to see my screen? Awesome, awesome. All right, so my name is Eric Cortez. I am with West Texas A&M University. Let's get started. So a little bit about me. Here is my name, right? Eric Cortez. I'm from Lockney, Texas, small town near here. Graduated from Lockney, went to school here at WT and received my bachelor's of science in sports and exercise science from WT as well. So now about the school. If you weren't aware, WT, West Texas A&M University, is located in the panhandle of Texas, as you can see there. We are 15 miles from Amarillo, 10 miles from Paladuro Canyon, the second largest canyon in the nation. And we're about an hour plane ride from Dallas, Not just that, we are about a half drive away from the ski slopes in New Mexico. So great location, central to a lot of really fun stuff. Not just a great location though, right? So some quick facts about WTAMU. We were established in 1910. Average enrollment's around 10,000. Our school colors are going to be maroon and white. Our mascot is a buffalo. We were on Thunder the 13th recently. Thunder the 13th passed away, RIP Thunder. So we'll be moving on to Thunder the 14th likely. Our nicknames, we are the WTAMU Buffs and Lady Buffs. So let's go forward from there. What do you get with WT? You get a quality education. We were recently named one of the safest college campuses in Texas, but not only are we safe, we are also grateful for our accreditations that we have received, as you can see here. We are one of the best online programs for bachelor's, most affordable RN to BSN online programs, and the Princeton Review has even named us top 25 online Masters of Business Administration programs as well. A really big part of that quality education starts with our classroom. So our student to faculty ratio is going to be around 22 to 1, and the average class size is going to be around 28 students per class. So what does that mean? 22 to 1 faculty to student ratio means that you'll know your professor and they will know you. You'll definitely be much more than a number at WT. And in my experience, honestly, my average class size, once I finished with core classes, you know, like algebra, English, those types of things, once I finished up with those, I was usually in a classroom with around maybe 10 to 15 students. So once you get into your upper levels, you'll likely see that your average class size will go down. Whereas, of course, if you're completing your core classes, you may see class sizes higher than 28 there. We have, yes, a small school feel in the classroom where you'll know your professor and they'll know you, but we at WT do offer a big school experience as well. We have students who study abroad every semester. We offer amazing internships through the university. You can get jobs on campus as well. And we have more than 100 student organizations for you to join as well. So we would be excited for you to join the Buff family. Just an example of some of the organizations that we offer. Of course, we have our fraternities and sororities. We'll have our herdsmen who will herd the buffalo around campus from time to time. BSA, HSA, we have painting. We offer tons of events on campus, a career expo, university sing, which is tons of fun as well. And many, many others. So there's plenty of opportunity to have a great time here on campus and get involved on campus to meet other students, right? With that, we also offer nationally ranked athletic programs. We are a Division II school, and we offer football, basketball, volleyball, track, softball, baseball, equestrian. I mean, you name it almost. You know, we have just about everything that you could possibly want there. Not only that, as a student, you do get free admission to these events, so definitely a plus. We also offer intramural sports, so you can compete against your classmates in football, flag football, of course, basketball, but we do offer other things through our intramural rec sports office, such as, if you'll see there, in the bottom right, they're learning how to canoe in our pool, right? So that's tons of fun. I actually don't know how to canoe. I might join that program, see if I can learn. So let's get to the academics. There are 6 colleges at WT: Ag and Natural Sciences, Business, Education, Engineering, Fine Arts and Humanities, as well as Nursing and Health Sciences. And we do offer more than 60 undergraduate programs through WT now. We offer top-notch facilities. The top left picture there is going to be our brand new engineering building. Of course, our brand new stadium that we just built. Top right is going to be the new ag complex, which is beautiful. And of course, our fine arts complex. And then in the middle, last but not least, good old Maine here on campus. And so we kind of skipped over here our freshman requirements, right? So our transfer admissions requirements, you do have to transfer in with 12 or more credit hours and with a minimum GPA of 2.0. We do have advertised in some places 2.5. But as long as you are above 2.0, you are good to go. So getting to the application process, how do you apply? So we do accept the Apply Texas application, but I would suggest as well, if you'll just visit our wtamu.edu website and apply through our website, you'll create a buff portal, and it's typically a little bit of a smoother process in that sense. So we'll have you submit your application. That application is currently open. So if you did want to apply, I strongly suggest going ahead and doing that. The application fee is going to be $55. Once you've got your application submitted, we'll just need you to submit your copies of your documents. So what do you need to submit? As a transfer student, we won't necessarily need your high school transcript, so you don't have to worry about that. We will need your college transcripts from each institution that you had attended individually. So we can get you started for your first semester with an unofficial transcript, but we would need official transcripts before you're eligible to register for your second semester with WT. Additionally, if you're transferring in, we won't necessarily need ACT, SAT as mentioned. Primarily, we'll look at your college transcripts and make our admissions decision based off of those. And then if you are under the age of 22, we would need your proof of meningitis vaccination as well. You can always check on the status of your application by giving us a call. Our general admissions phone number is 806-651-2020. Or you can check on your application within your application portal. And so, as I mentioned earlier, that would be if you applied through our WT website, you would have an application portal where you can always go back in and check on the status of documents, see what's received, when it was received, and just kind of get an overall feel in terms of like when your decision would be made and what your next steps would be. So now let's get to a little bit of the unfun stuff, right? So tuition and fees, we are going to be one of the most affordable options in Texas. For a Texas resident, you're looking at right around about $9,000 for the year, for the semester, sorry. And then room and board around $8,000 if you're living on campus. So room and board there, total, you're looking at around about $18,000 for a Texas resident. Out of state, about $20,000, and this would be annual cost. So this would be what you could expect to, pay for a full year at WT. So 20,000 can kind of feel a little bit of a high number, but there are scholarships and financial aid opportunities available. Last year alone, we gave away more than 5.1 million in scholarships to students. So we highly encourage our students to submit their scholarship application if they are interested in coming to WT. There is funding available. And if you are interested in applying for scholarships, you'll want to keep these dates in mind. So we'll want to have you applied and admitted before December, ideally. That way we can have you apply for scholarships before the early action date. If you apply by December 1, you'll know your scholarship award by February 1. And if you apply by February 1, you'll know your award by May 1. So the sooner the better for sure. Financial aid, we do offer, of course, FAFSA through WT. And this buff promise that's referred to here in the middle of the screen is kind of WT's promise to students that we will help you find funding to cover your tuition and fees, whether that be through grants, scholarships, student loans, or whatever the case may be. We will definitely do our best to try and help find funding and make sure that there's going to be the minimal amount coming out of pocket, if any at all. So we definitely encourage students for that as well. So one of the best ways to learn about WT, and I would highly recommend if you are able, is to come and visit campus. Come take a tour. We have 2 tour slots per day, Monday through Friday. We have a morning tour at 9:30 and an afternoon tour at 1:30. So I highly suggest coming. If you want to just kind of get a quick overview of campus, if you'll follow our WTAMU admissions page, either Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever the case may be, get on there and follow WTAMU admission. And there's going to be some outstanding information on there, great pictures, just to kind of get a view of what kind of we do on campus, get a feel for some of the events and those types of things. So that would be all that I have for my presentation. Thank you guys for listening, and I look forward to any questions at the end of this.
Thank you all so much. WT is my alma mater, so go Buffs. Very sad about Thunder 13, but you know, hopefully Thunder 14 is just as good. I'm sure of it.
We are
Awesome.
trying.
Cool. Okay, so we'll just keep on moving right along just to respect everybody's time. So next up, we have the University of Texas El Paso. So we have Endon with us today. Endon, take your, the floor is yours. I think you might be muted.
Great. There we go. Okay, so can you all see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and get started. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anita Martin, and I serve as a transfer coordinator here with the University of Texas at El Paso, also known as UTEP. If you'd like, go ahead and take a screenshot of this contact information, and I will also provide our general office info at the end of the presentation. But if at any point you have any questions on anything I present or anything about the university, I'm happy to answer those questions for you directly. So that is my direct email for you all. So before we get started, I'll go ahead and go over a little bit about UTEP. So UTEP in brief. UTEP is the second largest university in the US to have the majority Mexican American student population. As you all may or may not know, we are a border town with Ciudad Juarez. So that is one of the aspects that makes our campus a little unique. In that aspect that we do have students that live in Mexico and cross every day to come to UTEP. And that's something that kind of enriches our campus here at UTEP. Moreover, within UTEP, we do have over 170 programs that include 74 undergraduate degrees, 76 master level programs, and 22 doctoral degrees. We're currently at about a little over the 25,000 student mark for enrollment. And in 2019, UTEP research expenditures reached $108 million. So within that research funds is kind of what brought about UTEP's newest classification, which is an R1 Carnegie University. And that's something that we take great pride in. Our university tries to do the best to provide students the research opportunities, sometimes as early as freshman year, just depending on what your incoming program is. And so that what that really does for our students is the sooner you're able to get into a lab or start research on whatever your program is, the more that it gives you the opportunities to connect with outside entities so that by the time that you graduate, it gives you a good stepping stone into your career right after graduation. The Hispanic Business Magazine has also named UTEP as the #1 engineering school for Hispanics, and that ranking has been honored to us twice. The EOE Journal, Hispanic Network Magazine, and Professional Women's Magazine have also named UTEP, UTEP's College Business of Administration, a top school within their best of the best. The National Science Foundation has designated UTEP as a model institution for excellence. And finally, UTEP is one of the 11 universities nationwide to receive $5 million for Teachers of a New Era research grant, which is from that Research Carnegie Corporation. So at UTEP, we do have 8 academic colleges. So depending on your major, you would fall under one of these colleges. We have the College of Business Administration, the College of Education, the College of Engineering, the College of Health Sciences, the College of Liberal Arts, College of Science, School of Nursing, and School of Pharmacy. As mentioned earlier, we do have 170 degree programs, 74 bachelor's, 76 master's, and 22 doctoral. So as mentioned, UTEP is one of the smarter investments for our students in terms of tuition. These numbers here reflected are just for tuition and fees. I do want to go ahead and disclose that it does not have the room and board considered. However, if you are interested on what your total packaging would be, should you want to come to El Paso and attend UTEP, what room and board would be for you, I'm happy to provide that information if you go ahead and reach out to me. but the average cost is sitting around $8,135. And of course, that is the net price. However, once we consider your aid from either financial aid, grants, scholarships, that number can go significantly down. And sometimes we do have a lot of students that through the grants and scholarships end up paying nothing out of pocket, which is really great. Okay, so getting into the admissions process, I will be going over the admissions process for both domestic students and international. There is a slight change on the requirements needed. The first thing would be to submit your application through Apply Texas. That's what makes you an active student in our file, creates your student ID. So that is definitely the first step for our students. It is important to note that this applytexas.org would be if you're interested to transfer for the spring 22 semester. If you're interested in applying for either summer 22 and beyond, it would be goapplytexas.org. So just add that go in front of the Apply Texas, and the application is already open for our students. The second thing is to submit official transcripts from all institutions previously attended. We do ask that you send them officially, so that could either be done via US mail. A lot of universities do use the electronic service such as Parchment or Clearinghouse. Any way that the institution send them, as long as it's coming directly from the institution, it's considered an official transcript for us. And lastly, any student under the age of 23 must submit the meningitis vaccine. And actually that's 22. So if you're under 22, we would need the meningitis vaccine or proof of shot record, just to make sure that you're clear to attend courses on campus. Okay, for international students, again, the process does change a little bit, but your first step would be to apply. Again, that's through applytexas.org for spring 22 and goapplytexas.org for summer and thereafter. Same thing applies. We would need transcripts from every institution previously attended. Now, where it does change a little bit for our international students that have credit from a foreign institution is we would ask you to also submit a credential evaluation from an agency that translates not only the language of the transferring from the transferring college, but it also what these agencies do, they also translate the grading system and as well as the credits. So it's very important that if you do have foreign transfer work, that we receive those evaluations from the credential evaluation agencies as well with your official transcripts. For international students, there is an application fee. It's $65, which is something different from domestic. So if you're a domestic student, there is no application fee. It's free for you. So no worries there as a domestic student. And lastly, as an international student, we do ask for you to submit scores for the TOEFL exam. We've recently also started accepting Duolingo. And then as a transfer student, it's likely that at a previous college in the US, you may have attended or completed an English or rhetoric course. That can also be used as an exemption as long as you earned a C or better for the TOEFL exam. So once we have your application and have a little bit more information on your history of where you've attended and what kind of credit you have, we'd be able to let you know if you're exempt from the TOEFL or we'll still need those test scores for your admission. So My Status is an all-inclusive portal for our students, and the website is mystatus.utep.edu. What this portal does is once you've submitted an application and you're a student within our system, it allows you to log in and check your application status. It'll also give you the information on what missing items you have and any possible holds within our office. Not only does it have that information from our office, but it also will provide you the information on your financial aid status, your awards, and your refund. And lastly, once you are admitted to UTEP, your next step as a prospective or enrolling student is to sign up for orientation. And this is where you would also sign up for orientation. So this is something that's very important for our incoming students because right off the bat, as long as you submitted an application, you have access to this portal, whether you've been admitted or not. So this is a great way to keep track and ensure that you're getting everything submitted on time. And should there be a question about anything, then you know that you need to reach out to us to see what pending items you may have on our end. So for our incoming transfer students, we have noticed that there's sometimes been a little bit of a difficulty getting logged in. So we have added this part of it. And so as a future minor, the second that you submit your application and it's been loaded in our system, you're considered a future minor. And all you would need is your student ID, your date of birth, and last four of your social to get signed in. However, it does change, and I think this is what causes the confusion, is once you are admitted, you do need to use this admitted tab on the far right, and that's when you would log in and create your UTEP credentials. At some point, whenever in that transition phase between being still kind of like the prospective student and not fully enrolled or admitted, because we do ask for that UTEP ID number, there is a way to retrieve it here as well. So this, again, portal is very helpful for all of our incoming students. So this is something that we do like to highlight on the front end, just because we know, that transition to a new school is sometimes a little bit overwhelming. And so that's a great tool for you all. So getting into transfer credit, if you're kind of on the fence whether or not a transfer to UTEP is a good fit for you, one of the questions we most often get asked in our office is, how will my credit transfer? And unfortunately, UTEP does not perform preliminary evaluations. However, we do have this awesome online source for all students, or not even students. Anyone has access to this resource, and it's called degreeplans.utep.edu. So if you're curious on, I'm interested in transferring to UTEP, how will my courses apply? You're able to log into this degreeplans.utep.edu, hit that Get My Transfer Work button, and as long as you know the course number at your current institution, you're able to put it into the system, and what it does is it'll provide you the UTEP equivalent. So at least that way you get an idea of how credits will transfer from your current institution. A thing that's very important for our transfer students to keep in mind, especially if you're coming from a two-year college, is that there is a maximum allowable credit of 66 hours. What this means is, let's say you have those 66 credit hours, they're all applying to your degree, and you decide to take maybe 2 more classes. So now you're over the 66 credit hours, and technically all of the credit hours that you complete would apply to your degree. Unfortunately, those last 6 credit hours that you took over the maximum allowed would not count towards your degree, just because of the state policy around the 66 credit hours. So if you are considering transferring and you're rounding that hour, it's an important thing to keep in mind. Maybe at this point you might want to meet with an advisor at UTEP. Our advisors do see students before they're even admitted, just to kind of give them a guidance on how credits will transfer and what will be best be suited to make that transition as smooth as possible. And again, this degree resource is degreeplans.utep.edu. I won't get into this part too deeply, but one thing that at UTEP we've really been trying to do with our transfer students is kind of educate them or let them know how to read their degree plan, so that when those questions about how did my transfer credit come over, they at least know on the front end what to look for and when to come to our office for further assistance. So I won't go through the entire outline, just because it is very preliminary for you all, but as just a general rule of thumb, anything that would have, for example, this highlighted course where it says BUSN 13TR, anything with a TR in the course numbering is considered an elective. So that would be something to look for in your degree evaluation or degree plan. And in those cases, you would want to reach out to our office, because at this point, we would be able to help you through the course review process to make sure that you as a transfer student are maximizing your applicable credits towards your degree. So yeah, that's another tool that our office and our academic advising center are trying to be a little bit more proactive with our transfer students, just to make sure that once you're here at UTEP, we're maximizing your credits to get you to degree completion as quickly as possible. Okay, so transfer student orientation, we like to highlight this within our admissions presentation, mainly because at orientation is when you'll get to meet with departments from all over campus. So not only will you be meeting with your academic advisor, but you'll also have the opportunity to meet with financial aid, study abroad, the Student Engagement Leadership Center, which is where you're able to inform yourself about the student organizations within our campus. And if there's not one that's quite your fit, they'll help you and walk you through the process of possibly even creating your own. So transfer student orientation is very important for our transfer students to attend, not only academically, but also for those extracurriculars or the on-campus events. Unfortunately, at this time for the spring 22 semester, dates are still to be determined. They haven't been formally released. However, just as a little FYI, if you're looking to maybe possibly transfer in the spring, we will have in-person and virtual options. So if you are living in the Odessa area, and are interested, that option for that virtual experience will be available. Something I did want to highlight is our office will be hosting 2 transfer days. They're both on Saturdays, so it'll be Saturday, October 23rd and November 20th. What these Saturdays do are kind of give you that first step of that campus feel, campus life at UTEP. So you'll get to learn about the UTEP transfer process. During these events, we do like to extend the possibility of being admitted on the spot as long as you meet the UTEP requirements. So you could come in, bring everything in paper. We could even do a paper application on the spot. And as long as you meet all of our admissions requirements, that day you come in and you get admitted and you're able to sign up for orientation, explore your options within all the academic colleges, et cetera. It's a big event for our transfer students. And like I said, so transfer orientation and the other additional colleges and departments will be available. Unfortunately, right now, registration has not opened just yet. However, I will be providing that to the folks over within the Odessa College to provide that information to y'all once registration does open if you're interested. Or you could also email me for further information. One last thing is, with the pandemic, one of the biggest adjustments that our office had to do was, of course, moving things virtually. But, that's an advantage to you all who are not within the local region. We do host weekly virtual events, which you can find through this QR code here. And then we do also within our office schedule 15-minute one-on-one virtual appointments. So whether it's a very preliminary and you're just not sure if UTEP is a fit for you, go ahead and schedule an appointment with one of our advisors, our enrollment advisors, and we'll be able to kind of talk you through the process. If you've already submitted an application, want to check your status, anything that you have, you'll have 15 minutes exclusive to you as a one-on-one with one of our enrollment counselors. This is the building that we are housed in, and here's all our contact information. Please feel free to take a screenshot and contact me or anyone in my office with any questions that you all may have. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I was not aware that they had so many doctoral programs. That is awesome to know. Okay, cool. So we have a few minutes left of the hour session. And so I wanted to kind of open up the floor for any questions that we have from any of our students attending the session today. So if you have any questions, feel free to include them in the chat. Like I mentioned, we'll kind of answer them panel style, or if you, if you want to take on a question, feel free to unmute yourself and answer as well. So we'll see.
I don't have a question, but I did want to say UTEP is my alma mater, so I'm excited that they're here today.
Awesome. It looks like we do have a question in the chat. Do any of the institutions have childcare available for students or resources for childcare for students? If anybody wants to jump in on that.
So at UTEP, we do have a daycare that's connected to the university. They unfortunately do give priority to the faculty and staff, but if you were interested, you could definitely, reach out and if there's, because as you know, daycares function through age groups. So depending on your age group, if there was room within that age group that you needed, then they do extend it to students. And then if not, there's also within that daycare, they work with the Ys that are in the surrounding area of the university. So if they could not get you in at the one on campus, they would work with the Ys in the surrounding area to assist students with childcare.
Thank you. That is really good information to know. Okay, so it looks like we have a question for West Texas A&M. Does WTMU conduct preliminary transcript evaluations?
Yes, hi. I went ahead and replied in the chat to Chelsea directly as well, but WT does provide preliminary transcript evaluation. So if you were interested in those, I did put my email in the chat as well. Feel free to shoot me an email and I'll get you in the right hands to make sure we get that evaluation done for you, so you can have a pretty good idea as to how those courses will transfer in when the time comes.
Thank you so much, Eric. We have a few more minutes. I'm just going to give people some time to see if they have any questions. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we do have a question. Are there any fast track programs that allow students to earn their degrees faster than the typical 16-week programs? And that question is for anyone.
So we do have a couple. The most, I guess, popular one at UTEP is the pharmacy. So you start off as an undergraduate because the pharmacy degree here at UTEP, or I guess nationwide, but specifically to UTEP, it's a doctoral program. However, there's no really master level degree that you need to do before the doctoral. So a lot of times students will start as a biology major, something within the biological sciences. Complete the core curriculum, and as you start getting into those major specific courses, once they knock out prerequisites, at that point the fast track program starts. So as a student in the pharmacy program, what you're doing is you're working towards your bachelor's and your doctorate at the same time, essentially, and it lines up to where I think you end up finishing the entire program. I think it takes that extra year, so 5 years, but at that point you're graduating with your bachelor's in a biology degree and your doctoral in pharmacy.
Awesome, thank you so much. And I think Eric from WT mentioned that they also have childcare available through Kids College. So for anyone, any of our students listening that had questions about that, that information was provided in the chat. We'll give it one more minute. Oh, it looks like we have another question. Study abroad. Do any of the institutions offer study abroad opportunities?
I can go, yes, UNT does offer plenty of study abroad programs. Some of those are like with a faculty member, some of them the student would pick on their own, but those opportunities definitely exist at UNT.
Likewise at UTEP, we do have study abroad experiences, I believe, for every college. So that opportunity is definitely there for our students.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. All right, so I don't see any more questions, and I do again want to be respectful of everybody's time. So I just wanted to quickly close and say thank you guys so much for helping us put this thing together. We really appreciate all of the institutions that were able to join us today. For the students that are watching, there was a Drive to Success code. Vanessa, do you have that code to provide to students?
Yes, ma'am. It's 8111. And again, you just enter that into the Odessa College app under students. It should say Drive to Success code, and it is 8111. I can type it in the chat as well.
Beautiful, thank you. That code was 8111 for the students watching that need to enter that code. So we'll go ahead and conclude session number 2. Thank you guys so much. I wish you guys the best rest of the semester and a great academic school year. If we ever can be of any assistance in any capacity, please reach out, and we're always happy to collaborate. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, thank you.